What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from the Puff and Ponder podcast, and it is another Diaries of a Mad Mechanic, and I am pissed today. Shady ass motherfuckers that just it. So here's what happened. Last week we had a vehicle. Customer drives it in, shouldn't have drove it in. It's pouring water out of the bottom. It overheated. Like, oh, it's never good, never good. So we dumped some water in it to do a pressure test, pouring out of the water outlet housing. So call them up, hey, the water outlet housing, I can't test anything. I got to fix this so I can get coolant into the vehicle so I can figure out what's going on with the vehicle, if there's anything further. So he authorizes that. We get that put on. And then call him up, hey, your cooling fan's not working. Not only is it locked up solid, someone jumped it because the module was bad at one point. Oh, that was the guys down the street. I couldn't afford a new cooling fan, so they just bypassed that little relay module. And I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do. The fan's not coming on. I can't finish diagnosing this concern. He authorized it, so now he's into it $1,000 for all said and done. And vehicle's running nice. Heater comes on, fans coming on, everything is good to go. Little bit of smoke out of the tailpipe, nothing super bad. It's an older vehicle, Chevy Cruze with 170,000 miles on it. Probably turbo seals are going on it. So picks it up, comes back 20 minutes later, and oh my god, guy with the mower right on the side of the road. Hit a little ditch. He comes bouncing off. He's okay, though. I see him up. I wish I'd have got that on film. Gonna be TikTok famous. So it's smoking really bad. Yeah, it's not smoking. It's got a little puff to it. So he left it. I looked at it today and I'm like, yeah, it's running top notch. You got a little smoke coming out of your tailpipe. You got this thing hot. And yeah, it is what it is. I can't diagnose. It doesn't have a bad head gasket. We did the block test and everything else, but yeah, I don't have a way of diagnosing a turbo. I go, it's smoking a little bit. Yeah, it's cold this morning. I was going to smoke a little bit more on a cold morning. So gives one of those. We end up giving him all of his money back, all $1,000. Gave it to him back. He's going to call corporate. And this is what, and this is the shady kind of guy that I wish I would have talked to, because I catch up on these fucking bastards that do that. And then I make them sign all types of thing. I go above and beyond, but without saying, you're shady, I'm going to make you sign a bunch of shit. So it didn't matter to me. I still got paid for the job. I'm a mechanic. I got paid for everything. The fucking company, what are we out? Well, I got paid quite a bit, and with parts. So yeah, we're out a couple $100, $400 or so, $500. I don't know what it is, but the only saving grace was this guy was going to turn all this into his insurance company, because it got a little wet in one of the hurricanes, and they were fighting everything else, like the tire pressure system that went out, like the fan went out. And I had told him, I said, yeah, if your adjuster calls me, I'll make sure I let him know. And so when he picked up the car, I made sure I let him know. I go, hey, if your adjuster calls me, I'm saying none of this was flood damage. TPMS sensors, I'm going to say none of this appears like it's ever been underwater. And the guy just looks at me, and I'm like, hey, if you're going to rip me off, I'm not going to help you make money from your insurance company. And you could just see he was a little irritated because now he has no proof. Now he has no proof that any of this was and there was. There was signs that this vehicle, was standing in some kind of standing water. But guess what? Fuck off. And then he was complaining before because he owns a business down the street, and the insurance company was bending him over on his insurance claim. And I'm like, oh, this is what you deserve. I hope they just take it to town and they use no lube on you at all. People think that when you go after or you screw a big company, like mine, we're the biggest company in the tire world. Seriously, there is nobody bigger. And oh, it's just a big company. I'm not affecting. You affect everybody. You affect the shop because the shop gave that money back. That affects our numbers. That could affect bonuses. Doesn't affect. Well, I mean, it can affect me. In the long run. I make sure I play the long game. Like I said, it's probably not going to affect me. But it's going to affect other guys in the shop. And when it comes time for raises, Kevin always gets his. Because I'm the hardest worker. But yeah, I hate people like that. I absolutely despise just shady people like that. It just irritates me to no fucking end. But a guy like that, he's already getting his. He's dealing with the insurance company. Karma's got his number. And I hope his business never reopens. It's what it is. It is what it is. So we're done on that rant. Next rant. Christmas should be about children. That's it. Christmas should be about 17 and under. Once you turn 18, you should not get Christmas presents anymore, nor should you be giving Christmas presents. And let me explain why. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on our podcast tonight about this. I had an elderly lady come in. She needed brakes and a couple of tires and an alignment on her car. Oh, it's Christmas. I got a lot of presents to buy still, and I'm just gonna have to put that off. You need brakes. Put what off? I want to say you're 90 years old. Who are you buying gifts for? Who's expecting, what dick or cunt is expecting a gift from a 90-year-old lady? If you can't afford to put tires and brakes on your car, you can't afford to give out gifts. So if you're doing this just for the sake of Christmas gifts, yeah, I understand. Like, see, you want to do that. You want to do a nice thing. You're probably have piece of shit kids, that are depending on you to get them whatever that they want. That's why we got to set an age limit for Christmas gifts now, because people are putting. We went this year, finally, Secret Santa. We got families getting bigger, extended family, and trying to figure out who to give gifts to, who not to give gifts, and it's getting out of hand. Every year that goes by, it's more of these gifts, and it's just for a bullshit holiday that nobody cares about. It's all about the gifts. It's not about the baby Jeebus and none of that. There are still people that's what it's about, but part of my family, that's strictly what the gifts are, the added thing. But yeah, it's just about gifts. Just about getting more bullshit trinkets. If I get one more dumb fucking trinket that literally every year I come home, I throw it straight in the trash. Not that I'm ungrateful. I'm like, oh, hey, thank you. I'm never going to fucking use this. Ever. It's a wind up, whatever stupid thing. And what, I got to keep it around for when you come around? Are you going to ask, hey, do you still got that wind up thing I paid 39 cents for, 3 years ago? I'm like, no, I threw it in the trash as soon as I got home. Yeah, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but yeah, it's just, don't buy me anything. Am I the Grinch? I'm kind of a Grinch. I am the hardest person in the world to shop for, by the way. You don't even try. And Jessica doesn't buy me anything anymore, which is fine with me. I buy my own shit. Amazon's at my house every day, 5 days a week. Amazon's at my house with something. So I buy my own shit. I do well enough where I buy my own shit. And I don't buy Christmas gifts anymore. I don't buy them for anybody. Jessica does our shopping. Now that we're on the Secret Santa, I got to buy my daughter Gabby something. I picked her name, so sweet. Jessica's like, oh, hey, she really wants these boots. I'm like, oh, hey, send me the link. She sent me the link. I go buy it now. I'm like, there we go. Done. One present. All I had to buy this year. And I finished my Christmas shopping in 30 seconds. My kids don't expect anything. Gabby's my stepdaughter, but I consider her my daughter. My kids don't expect anything from me. I don't expect anything from them. That's not what we're all adults. We've come to this fucking agreement that, we're all fucking adults. We can buy our own shit now. So I do feel better. I'm going to continue this gift thing on the podcast tonight. The Puff and Ponder podcast. It'll be the Cigar Prop. I Tap That Cigar Show, kind of Puff and Ponder. So if you want to dive more into this, look up Cigar Prop on YouTube, and we'll see you next time around.